Hey everybody. I was on Twitter, now it's called X, and the European Union, keeps on, well, I think now they want to fine Elon Musk over $100 million for, some stuff that's been said on Twitter. It's now called X, but I think that's insane. And you know, if you look at what's going on in Europe, especially in, places like London, it's insane that they're trying to crack down on free speech on social media. Like I'm seeing videos of, people going to, or authorities going to folks' houses and apartments and stuff and trying to arrest them. Like that's insane. And, what people questioning the government or questioning, conventional thinking. I think that's, it's not right. And to see, a place like England sit up and have this as something that you can do to folks, it's insane to me. Like, Keir Starmer is acting like a dictator. And, a lot of times voters will always see, these liberals or these folks that are acting like liberals. They always think, oh, well, they're good and, equality and all this other stuff. Like they use those lines, some of these politicians in Europe and these countries to get elected, and then they almost act like they're communist. And what Keir Starmer's doing is horrible. I mean, using your resources to go after people or arrest people that are talking about the government, that are posting things that you might not like that's horrible, especially in a place like, in London, in England. Like these same politicians will talk about the Middle East and talk about China, but they're doing the same thing. Like if you're confident in what you're doing, if you're doing the right thing, then why are you worried about all this scrutiny? And here's my thing. Politicians should welcome scrutiny. Like if folks are saying you're doing a bad job, maybe you should change some laws and actually start doing your job. Like it's insane that politicians, especially in 2025 in Europe, are trying to, silence folks for, talking about, things in their neighborhood, talking about laws they want to get passed, like, for memes and all sorts of stuff. Like it's insane to me because, I'm an American and I don't think Americans would stand for something like this. And, when you go after, people that want to, express themselves, then it always backfires. Like a lot of these liberals and a lot of these folks in these countries are wondering, well, why are right-wing politicians getting more popular? Well, this is the reason why. They're getting more popular because people want freedom. People want to be able to speak out. And it's amazing because a lot of these liberals talk about freedom, but they're really not about freedom. They're about control. I mean, it's always a stereotype where people act like, oh, well, the liberals want freedom and an open society and all this other stuff. No, they don't. They say all those things to get elected. And then once they're elected, they become like little dictators, like the folks you read about in history books. I mean, to sit up and try to arrest senior citizens because they posted something online, that's insane. And it's, like I said, it's only going to backfire. It's only going to put more right-wing politicians in power. And the opposite is going to happen. And you know what? Maybe it's a good thing, because if you can't express yourself or people can't, speak openly about things online, then, that hurts society. Like people should be able to talk about science and talk about politics and talk about business without having to worry about, well, did I say the wrong thing? Like it's something from a movie almost. It almost reminds me of that movie. What's that movie with I think it's Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. I think it's Demolition Man. I think that's what the movie's called. But it's almost like from a movie like that. Like, where the government tells you how to think and what to do, and no one wants to live like that. Like that's slavery. That's modern day slavery. And it's not necessarily the old school slavery that you think about in the history books, but anytime, you have to self-censor yourself because you have to think, well, you know what? I have to look over my shoulder because I said something last night that the government didn't approve of. Like, what's going on in 2025? And this is one of the reasons why Elon Musk is tired of some of the politicians and some of the folks, that are part of the European Union. Like, this is the reason why, because, why are we going after a person, like him when he's trying to, improve humanity? I mean, he's trying to, send rockets into space and experiment and do all these things and make, cars that don't need gas and all this other stuff. And it's just like, why spend your time, saying, well, you know what, we have to investigate this person and we have to shut down Twitter and we have to fine him this and that. Like, why even waste your time worrying about what Elon Musk is doing when, some of the folks that are part of the European Union have so many other bigger issues to think about? Like, is their approach going to be, every time someone makes a social media company that, they have to fine them or ban them? And you wonder why, as far as technology, why so many folks admire, the technology companies from America. Like, Europe would be a perfect place for so many great tech companies nowadays if they didn't try to regulate and fine everybody. Like, I notice anytime someone speaks out or creates a technology company or anything that's, involving tech, the European Union always has to, crack down and, fine somebody or ban somebody. Like, it's insane to me. And again, it's only going to backfire. And, I've even seen folks online talk about, they need to abolish the European Union or something like that. And I agree with them. Like, what purpose? What are these folks doing all day long? Like, it's almost like they see a tech company, they see somebody that doesn't agree with them, they see a platform where some people are able to speak out, and it's just like, well, you know what? Let's investigate that situation. Let's investigate those people. Let's investigate that tech CEO. Like, there's so many issues that they could worry about. And so this is why so many people are turning against the European Union. And, it's just politicians in Europe in general. Like, what's happening? In a lot of these places are places with great history and places with, amazing people. But, this whole censorship thing that some of these politicians are on right now it's backward. And again, this is just my prediction. You're going to see a lot of those countries vote in folks that normally they wouldn't vote for, especially with seeing, how just bad it is with the immigrants and immigration. Like, these are things that should be very easy to fix. And we, like I said, we went through the same problem in America as far as, some of these issues, especially immigration, like I'm talking about. And sometimes it just takes the right politician to come in there and make things happen. And Donald Trump, again, I don't agree with everything he does, but he came in there and did it with immigration, and he did it with some of the companies over here. Some of the companies over here said, oh, well, you know what? We don't like what you're saying, and we're going to try to ban your account on social media. And you know what he did? Donald Trump is like, you know what? I might have to sue you guys. And so I don't know if it's going to take lawsuits or what, but the European Union and some of the politicians in Europe need to, start standing up and speaking out or saying something. Even folks who are citizens in some of these countries. Like, if you know a friend somewhere where you can speak out, let them speak out for you, because, it's not going to help society if folks in Europe can't, at least express themselves. Like, that's just my opinion. Again, I know I'm rambling, but let me know, just your thoughts on free speech in Europe and, censorship and the government. Like, let me know your thoughts, because I don't think the people in Europe are going to continue to stand or vote for politicians that are, doing this type of thing. So let me know how you feel. Thank you.